Disclaimer. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only and should not be considered as facts. Nothing that is said about any person, organization, gaming company, or sport topic in general should be taken as facts, as well as any talk about any political, religious, or medical topics. As for medical topics, at all times you should speak to a licensed medical professional before any opinion is considered. Everything that is said on this podcast is opinion-based only. Viewers and listeners' discretion is advised.
Welcome to the DrVtach Show. This podcast is a long-form conversation hosted by DrVtach with the top guests in the world of esports. All from owners, pros, semi-pros, former pros, and content creators of many games. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the DrVtach Show. Well, today we got a special guest, and let me tell you, this guy is special. He's a phenomenal person, actually. He was part of Wildcard, yes, and I was part of Wildcard. So when I was with Wildcard, he was in Wildcard. He is an analyst for Rainbow Six Siege. He did for Wildcard, and now he's with ITB Sports. So they went to Manchester. They didn't come all through, but they did pretty well. So let's bring on our good friend ITB Seadea. I always call you C, but how do you pronounce your gamer tag?
First of all, thank you for having me on. Obviously, I know we've been talking about it for a little while, trying to get on.
Yeah.
But it's pronounced CD.
CD. Okay,
Yeah.
CD. Phenomenal, man. So what you been up to, man? How's everything?
Everything's good, man. You know, I just come back from the major, like yesterday, just got home after watching the finals and stuff. The atmosphere was amazing. I've been just chilling out really since the stage after the major, really just trying to relax because it was such a busy period. Trying to just keep on top of everything and be ready for every game that we could potentially have. So now's my chill out time.
Oh, great. I'm so happy that we got a chance to do this because I know I've been trying to get you on the podcast for quite some time. I always want to know the depths and what are the roles that a analyst does, because you guys are basically on the backstage. You're on this private section. Nobody sees you. They don't know what you're doing. They don't hardly know about you. So, you know, what is it that you guys basically do? What does an analyst does for an organization?
I mean, what an analyst does really changes team to team. Like on ITB, I'm more specifically external, so I'm watching how other teams play, how we can beat them, their play styles and stuff like that. But on Wildcard, it was more statistic, internal and external based. So what sites do we win the most? What opening kills do we get? Just a lot of spreadsheet work, and I'm all self-taught in spreadsheets, so I just keep learning. So doing loads of different internal, external work is really helping me out right now.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, if you notice that a player is jeopardizing the team, do you also have input in that?
Yeah, so normally what happens is with kicking and dropping a player would be kind of we'd have a feeling inside that something needs to change, and then you would come to the staff, the coach, the analyst, the manager, whatever that may be. That's kind of the process. You go to them guys, they would then give their input. My input would probably be based on statistics. So if I see a player is performing really poorly in a stage, or maybe in over a year period, I can then say, yeah, the feeling's right. The feeling's probably justified to feel that that player isn't doing so well.
Okay, that's awesome, man. I mean, I feel you have a lot of responsibility on your shoulders.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of work that goes into it, but I guess everyone on the team has that as well in their own respects.
Yeah. I believe a lot of times that an analyst is very, very, very important. And I know that you guys had to make sure that everything is working properly, make sure the strats were run really good. So I feel that and the combination of team chemistry has to do a lot, because if the chemistry is not there with the players and then they're not following your guidance, then something is wrong.
Yeah, man, like 100%. I think the main thing for players is, I've always said this to players who ask me, like, how do you take the step up from tier 3, tier 2 into Pro League? Would be always just be coachable. Listen to what people are telling you, especially if they're more experienced. Like, us as coaches and analysts are learning all the time as well. We learn from players. Like, an example, when I was on Wildcard, I wasn't too experienced, and I learned new ways of doing things from working with the coach was Draz at the time. You have to listen and learn from people who have been in the game for longer. And also Merck was on the team at the time, and he was a big help where he's worked with so many different styles of coaches and analysts that players need to be coachable and listen to what you're saying. Otherwise, that will cause issues down the line.
Correct. Oh, that's true. That is true, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel for you, man, because I know this is not an easy job becoming an analyst. I mean, you have to learn so much of the game and learn the tips and tricks, all this stuff you got to do and analyze and figure out, and strategies and learn the enemy strategies as well. Because it's like, if you don't know what they're going to be doing, how are you going to face them, and it's kind of tough. So you watch a lot of videos afterwards, and you just repeat and watching videos and seeing how other teams were, doing and what their strats are.
Yeah, so I must spend maybe 40 hours on a specific team a week. So let's say when we were in EUL, we'd have a game on a Tuesday. I would spend from the Monday to the Thursday the week before just watching 30, 40 hours of either match replays or VODs of the opponent team, trying to get a gauge on, like I said, play styles, their strategies, how they want to try and how they react to different scenarios and stuff. If they're in a 3v3, how do they react? Do they go aggressive or passive? That sort of thing as well.
Wow, man. Yeah. I'm going to tell you, I don't want to be in your shoes. I don't care how much they pay me. That is tough, man. I mean, because you have to be working hand in hand with the coach.
Yeah.
You're the one because you're the one that's basically making the plan book, and then he's going to have to decide which plan to choose on which, floor, what to do against what team. And you give out 10 options, and he's going to have to choose one. He's the coach.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's bringing the game plan to the coach, and then he makes the decision on which one's best. So
correct.
That's how it goes.
Gosh, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel it's fun at the same time. I feel that it's like if that team clutched and win, you're like, yep, that was my plan. Yeah, I'm the one that created that. That's why we won.
Yeah, it's really rewarding, especially when you see something like I'll be sat there and I'll have sat 30 hours a week analyzing the opponent, and then we'll play against them. And then they'll do the exact thing that I've told them that they're gonna do, and we're like, wow. yes, we know how to counter that. And then sometimes it doesn't work, and that's when it really hurts. Is like, I did all I could at that point. We've prepared the team as best as possible, and sometimes it just doesn't work. But it's really fulfilling when it goes well, and you can say, yeah, my work really helped the team.
Now tell me, as an analyst, what in the world happened with Beast Coast winning BDS? I am thinking, okay, they call it the Cinderella story. I never seen something like this happen, in a long time. Yeah. And Beast Coast is basically like the bottom of the barrel team. They never make it up to the finals, especially the grand final.
Crazy.
And seeing how they perform against, the best player in the world, Chico, and then you got Ligafac, you got all these players, Bread. These guys are like brutal. These guys are freaking, they're the best of the best. then comes Beast Coast, and it was a tough match. They did good.
Yeah.
As for me, I'm not an analyst. This is what I saw. BDS said, wait, these guys are playing this strat so differently. We're so confused. They're so used to facing EU and facing Brazil. So when they face NA, they're like, what the heck? And they're starting to lose because they're getting frustrated because they're not used to it. The American style, the NA style. Now that's my perspective. What was your perspective of what happened?
I think Beast Coast have this really unpredictable style. It's strange because we played them earlier in the tournament and we knew everything that they wanted to do and they did everything that we thought they were going to do. But they're so good at doing that one thing that you can't really do anything against it. But then they have these mid-round adaptations where they'll change the push-up and they're so quick at doing it that you just can't get a read on what they want to do. They're very, very quick moving around the map, so they could be doing a one-side push and then they realize that they can't do that, and then within 5 seconds they're in the site and they've decided that they're just going to hit site, and they're so quick at adapting, and I think BDS struggled against that because, I think just the play style of Beast Coast is really strong for the meta at the minute.
That is so true. And let me tell you something. Deep in my heart, I know Sonics and DZ must be feeling it. I mean, because Gunner is actually a good friend, and Gavini as well. I know him. I know Fett. I mod for all these guys. These guys I mod when they were with reality TV.
Crazy.
So I know them. And I post something on Twitter, Sonics, thank you so much for releasing Gunner.
Yeah, man, it's
like, thank you, you did, that was the best choice you ever did, and I think I said the same thing with DZ. Thank you for releasing, because if it wasn't for that, they wouldn't have made it.
No, it's
DZ released Gavini for Bolo. And
it makes sense, right? Because you're getting Bolo.
Yeah, you're going to pick up Bolo.
Makes sense.
Nowadays, how the game is, I don't see Bolo as, like I used to see him before with previous, stages and, of how the game was. The more evolved, the tougher it is.
Yeah.
The game right now is really, really tough.
Yeah, 100%.
It's really, really tough. It's not easy anymore.
Yeah.
You got Solus on one side. You got that's a pester. That's a pain in the neck. Because Solus is, is a pure pain. So now they're gonna buff her pretty soon. So seeing how Gavini, how Gunner did, and the coach Fett, how the way he managed it. It was a phenomenal strat, and how Hot and Cold did phenomenal as well.
Good. Really good final.
Yeah, very good. So I know, and DZ must be saying, "Dang it, he was on our team, and look, he won it. He lifted up the trophy." So it's like, it's gotta hit you. It's gotta hit you in the gut.
Yeah, 100%.
I know my good friend Seth. He's like, "Oh yeah, I wish Gunner the best." I know you do. But I know deep inside.
Yeah, you want
deep inside your heart, you really wish you would have won it. You wish the Sonics. And sometimes people start to think, okay, did I make the right decision? I released this guy, and after I release him, now he just won a major.
Yeah, and he was the MVP of the tournament as well.
Yes. Oh my God, he broke record.
Yeah.
So it's like, then you start to think, was it I did something wrong that I couldn't let Gunner do what he had to do?
Yeah,
this is something what I would be thinking.
Yeah.
Was I tying him down? Was I holding him down?
Yeah.
Because he went freaking off. Him and I got to give props to BDS because Liquefact also did phenomenal.
Yeah. He
Him
also
and
brings
Liquefact, they were in a battle.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was crazy. That was an intense. It was a good intense match. It was fair. They fought it out. It wasn't a blowout. It wasn't a wipeout. I don't like wipeouts and blowout
Yeah, they're never fun
matches.
to watch. Never.
Yeah, they're not fun. It's like, okay, you're 1-6. Just one more to win. It's done and over with. And it's like a blowout.
Even the final map, right? It was 6-2 to Beast Coast.
Yeah.
And then BDS brought it to 6-5, and you're thinking, oh, hold on a minute.
Okay, hold on.
Maybe they get the comeback, and then obviously Beast Coast went on to win. But yeah, even until the very final round, it was intense.
I always have to stay biased, especially, as a podcaster. I do have my favorite players. A lot of people know that my favorite Rainbow Six Siege player currently right now, and always since I saw his story, is Shaiko.
Yeah.
I always would defend the way I seen him play, what he been through, what he went through, etc. So I always have my heart, with Chaiko. It's always going to be for me, the GOAT, the best Rainbow Six player I ever seen play the game. I mean, he's phenomenal. He had it really rough this time. I noticed he started getting a little bit frustrated. He got to the point that he was just like, what the heck? Then at the end, he started getting back onto pace, getting on fire, but it was too late.
It's too late. Yeah.
But then they were going against my buddies. So it's like, damn it. So it's always tough for me because when I'm seeing friends going versus friends, I can't choose. I was like, well, I wish the best for the both of you.
Yeah, I mean, I really like BDS. Like I don't really know them personally, but I like the story that they have and the whole thing that they have as a team. They've finally built this great team. Like BDS have finally got a team that you think should be favorites to go and win a tournament this year, and they were favorites to win this one. But my friend Spirits is on the Beast Coast. Obviously,
that's another buddy of mine. Oh, I forgot Spirits. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, Spirits. I love you, brother.
Yeah, so Spirits on that team, and then Froshy, who was the analyst, who was, I guess, co-analyst / coach with me on Wildcard, and I wanted those guys to win so bad. So I was very Beast Coast heavy favorite, but
me too.
BDS won, I wouldn't have bothered anyway because I know from competing against BDS in the European League, it's so hard to break those guys down, like mentally and just in the game, because they're all 5 players are so good.
Yeah, they're very, very competitive.
Yeah.
Very competitive. They're very good. They won what they won last year. I think they won the Junkie.
Yeah, it was the Junkie thing. Yeah,
that's a major, right?
Yeah, they won a major.
They won a major.
Liquid in the final, I think it was.
Yeah, against Palu.
Yeah.
Palu and Gang. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I wrote to Shaiko. I said, listen, second place ain't bad.
Yeah.
Second place ain't bad. You did good. Keep your head up. Second place ain't bad. I tell that to a lot of my friends. When I see that they're bummed out, I'm like, listen, why are you freaking bummed out? Because the guy the team that was in 5th place, they wish they were second.
Yeah, that's it.
Right now they wish they were second.
Yeah.
I bet your team wished they came in second.
We just wish we made the main stage,
Yeah.
Second place would be a dream.
Even man, you still will get money.
Yeah, exactly.
You're still gonna get paid.
Second place is a dream. To even think about it is crazy, So obviously it's never nice to lose ever, especially in a final. But like you said, I think in a week or so, you probably look at it and go, second place isn't bad.
Second place isn't bad. It's better than 3rd place. Better than 4th and 5th.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. There's worse places to be than second place in the world. So,
you know what I believe Ubisoft Blast should do for those that come in second. Yeah. I know that the main number 1 gets a trophy, gets a big trophy.
Yeah.
But I believe they should give silver medals to the ones that come in second. At least get something and have them come up a stage, congratulate them,
Yeah.
and give something to them, some type of medal. I'm gonna post that out because it
Totally
would
agree.
it will make them feel even better.
Yeah, I mean,
It will make them feel good. In some way, they're gonna say, "Hey, listen, I came in second. I came in second." They will say with pride, "I came in
yeah.
second." And it's good to be in second place. Is not bad.
I mean, there's so many people that would want to be second.
Oh man,
And
so many teams that want to be
yeah,
second place.
yeah,
Freaking wild. Yeah, Spirits, I love him, man. He's a phenomenal guy. Very humble.
yeah. He's a
Very
lovely dude.
humble. So tell me, where you from? See, where are you actually from? You got an accent.
So I live in the UK, but more in like the northwest of England,
Oh,
which
okay,
is
you're
really
from
nice.
England. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So
Wow.
the major was so close to me, I had to go. It
Oh
was,
yeah, you could just
I had to. It
yeah.
was a train. It was like a 40-minute train to the venue. So
Really?
yeah, it was really close.
Oh God, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. That's crazy. So the team that you're with now, they're actually from UK or they're from England or
Yeah, so we have 4 players from the UK and 1 from Sweden. So that's why it would have been so nice to make the main stage like a UK major, a UK
yeah.
team, and our coaches from the UK as well. So there would have been 7 out of the 8 members of the team would have been from the UK, and it would have been just like me. Like the crowd would have gone crazy. Like how crazy they were going for like Liquid in the first game of the quarterfinals, and how crazy they were going for BDS in the final. Obviously, being a
Yeah.
European team. It would have just been so crazy to have a UK team at a
Yeah.
UK major.
That would have been that would have been crazy. What I found really crazy was the fans saying, because you hear one side say, "Let's go Beast Coast" or something, then the other group say Beast Coast sucks.
Yeah, it
I'm
was
like, oh my God, these fans are freaking wild.
yeah, the crowd was like probably. I've been to a lot of like English football matches,
Mm-hmm.
and the crowds at the venue felt like a football crowd. It felt like the Americans were the away team,
Yeah.
and the Europeans were the home team. And it
Oh
was
God.
there was chants of "Is this a library?" when BDS were losing and they stopped singing and stopped chanting. The NA fans
Yeah.
were going, "Is this a library?" And it was just so much fun to be a part of that kind of back and forth between the two sides.
Yeah, it's crazy. Till today, I don't know what's gonna top out. I mean, the Manchester was phenomenal. I think it was great. I
Yeah,
think that it was an amazing
yeah.
is an amazing tournament. But man, the Brazil one,
The Brazil one was top, elite. It was
I
it's
think
almost
I
unbeatable.
think that's the number one. I never seen
Yeah,
something like that. I
I
seen
mean,
old freaking people like in their 80s taking their shirts off.
yeah,
This
I was
old
gonna
guy is
agree.
like, yeah. I was like, what the
Yeah,
heck?
yeah. People, the Brazilian fans are so passionate and they just love their players and the teams that they support. That, like you said, if you have 10,000 of those people in a stadium, in a
Oh
bowl,
God.
nonetheless, there's also all the sounds going down into the microphones and
Mm,
onto the players. It must have been an unreal atmosphere to be a part of.
yeah. Yeah, I agree. That is so true.
Yeah.
That's wild, man. That's wild. So how you got into to gaming in the first place? How was it? You started when you were a little kid, or you got into
Yeah.
Xbox console, or what was it with you?
Yeah. So when I was a young lad, I had a Wii, like a Nintendo Wii,
Oh, the
and
Nintendo Wii. Yeah.
that was like my first console, and then it was I just play like Wii Sports, and I used to love football games, so it'd be like FIFA or something like that on
Mm-hmm.
the Nintendo Wii, and then it was a PlayStation, and then it was an Xbox, and then when I got introduced to Siege in 2016, I think it was, when White Noise came out, like Dokkaebi and Vigil.
Yes, I remember.
So when those two came out, that's when I got introduced, and I got quite good on console. I was doing well. I weren't amazing, but I thought, man, this is a game I want to try and be competitive in. So then I moved to PC, and I was trying to be a player. I maybe had about 15 or 20 different teams trying to just be a player, like low level teams that were never ever going to make it. But I was just trying to get a name for myself at that level. And then I think I realized maybe I'm not good enough to be a player. So let's try and be a coach, because I understand the game well, and I love the tactical side of the game, and I love trying to figure out solutions to problems. That's kind of, even not just in Siege, in real life, I love problem solving. I love figuring things out and learning and taking in knowledge. So then I decided to become a coach, and then to move into tier 1, the only way to move into tier 1 for me at that time, just the time frame that I thought I was ready, was to become an analyst. So I had to teach myself all these spreadsheets and stuff in like a 2-month period. So that's kind of my whole story. It's just moving up the consoles, realizing I want to be competitive, and then self-teaching myself everything along the way.
Amazing, man.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So now let me take a wild guess. Was your PC, the first PC when you started playing it, was it a laptop?
It wasn't. I've seen the
It
episodes
wasn't.
before, and everyone seems to have a laptop. I wasn't.
Yes.
I saved up and I got myself like a pre-built PC, and I had it
Okay.
I had it from like 2018 until just recently. I didn't replace it, and I was like, yeah, man, this PC's brilliant. And then I got a new one just like a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, wow, I can't believe I stayed with that PC for so long. Yeah.
Or you just keep it. Just keep it as something that you always look back and remember.
Memento, 100%. Like, I can't believe how many people started on laptop. Actually, I thought a lot of people would have done the same thing as me and just saved up and got a PC. But I guess everyone probably went for the cheaper option of a laptop and then thought, "Oh,
A lot of people go with laptops. I had so many people on the show, and then I asked that question. They're like, "Yeah, I started on a laptop." I was like, "Oh gosh, laptops! You're gaming on a laptop."
Crazy. Apparently, everyone wants a laptop nowadays.
What PC you got? Which one you got? What a custom build as well, or no?
So mine was through like Untold Gaming guys. You essentially send them a message. You tell them what you want to use the PC for, what you want to the main goals of using it.
Correct.
Is it for storage? Is it for gaming? Is it for streaming or whatever? You can kind of tell them, and they'll just build it. So I'm not 100% sure what it's got in it, but it works really well for me. So,
Okay, good.
I'd recommend them.
Oh, that's awesome. Now you have what type of graphics card they put in it?
I think it's Nvidia. I'm not 100% sure which one. I think it's a 1060, not 1060. Yeah, I'll have to just double check, but yeah, it's an Nvidia one definitely.
Yeah. What is the most recent? May have a 30 series 3000 series, or probably 4000.
Yeah, just trying to find it. It's a RTX 4070 is what I've got.
Holy smack.
Yeah, so I got a 4070.
What the heck, dude?
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that good.
Are you crazy? Oh my god. You got a 4070?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I got a 3070 Ti, man. Still, man, that's a beast.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at the PCs at like where we play the major and stuff.
Yeah.
And they have 4070s, and I didn't know I had one until just now.
Oh, you just found out right now on the podcast. Oh, that's freaking wicked.
There you go.
That's sick, man. That's crazy. Now you could play Hellblade. You could play Flight Simulator. What I play, you could play Star Citizen. All these high, graphic demanding games you could play with a breeze. With a 4070, you're perfectly fine, man. That's gonna last you a long time.
Hopefully.
Oh yeah, so. You don't need. I mean, for Rainbow Six Siege, you don't need. I mean, yes, you can put a 4070 in it. I mean, if you want to. I mean, does it need a 4070 to play it? No.
Probably not. No.
Rainbow Six Siege could run good with even a 2070 or 2080. You gotta just, and usually all these pros, they put the graphic settings to the lowest possible.
Yeah, I think just the way the game looks, everyone has it on low. The only setting that, if anyone's listening and trying to figure out settings, don't put your shadows on low. Put them on medium, because with low, the shadows don't show up. Whereas with medium, they do. So that's the only setting I think that pros don't have on low. which is mental.
Yeah, the shadows. They need to see the shadows.
Yeah.
They see somebody's shadow, they say, oh, he's right behind that door. I see the shadow, so.
Just start shooting back.
Yep. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. That's pretty neat, man. So now this team, tell me a little bit more of the organization that you're with now.
Yeah, so ITB, it's a British organization.
Mm-hmm.
I think their biggest teams have been in CS:GO. So this team was an old roster. It was from 2023 Stage 1,
Mm-hmm.
and that roster had finished last in 2023 Stage 1. So ITB come in, picked them up, changed a couple of players, changed the coach, and then the roster got up to 6th, and the org was like, yeah, this is nice. We made a couple more changes, and then in the most recent stage, we finished 2nd in the league, only losing our 2 BDS. We obviously then went to the major. So that's kind of the org story. But the players that we have now, we have Oscar, who's a rookie this season. He was on teams like Victus, Calories in Tier 2, top Tier 2 teams. Creed, who was on a team called Jihu. They're quite famous in the EU for never have losing to G2. So when you have G2 like in the Tier 2 tournaments, whenever they face this team called Jihu, G2 could never beat them. So we picked up one of the players from there, and then we've got Kendrew, who obviously has been in the scene for a long, long time. He was on Navi, he's been on Secret, he's been on so many Kavana, I think, so many different teams, and he's a great guy to help these 2 rookies that we've got, Oscar and Creed, to help them come into the scene, and he's been superb helping them settle into Tier 1. And then we've got Azza, who made his Tier 1 debut on that team that finished last at last year's Stage 1. And then obviously he just progressed. And then we got Noah, who was also on that team, who finished last. And those 3 have stuck around. And they've been just improving. And now they're some of the best players in the one. Azza actually has the best kill to entry death ratio in the whole world. So
really,
in Tier 1, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's a really good stat to have for that team. Like, I think we had a really good stage, and we have really good staff, and it's just about now trying to improve and keep getting better and better and better. And then
it's gonna take time for them to adjust to each other and figure out. Once they get it, they get it.
Yeah, I mean, the goal for this stage was just to keep improving. It was never it was maybe make the major and then, or make playoffs and then maybe make the major. But making the major into phase 2 and then winning our first game, it was kind of more than what we expected. We said before we went to the event after we'd qualified was, it doesn't matter what we do here. We've kind of set our goals for the season. We've achieved our goals. Obviously, it would be nice to go and win the event, but you have to stay realistic. We're a team that's been together for 2 months. We've got 2 rookies on the team.
Yeah.
Who never played a stage of Tier 1 in their life, and it's important that we just set realistic goals and we stay realistic to where we think we actually might be.
Yeah. A lot of these guys, like, from Beast Coast, they all knew each other.
Yeah, exactly.
And they played together so many times, so they all kind of know each other. And Gavini knew Gunner knew Gavini. They knew Spirits, and so they'll
Tier 1 teams before and in Pro League before, so they know the demands that it takes and the pressure. They know how to deal with that because they've done it all before.
Correct. They know it. Yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah,
but I'm sure that within time, the guys are gonna get together. Your team is gonna go in, and the chemistry is gonna click, and then everything is gonna flow. It's gonna flow really good, and then they're gonna have a good strategy. They're gonna know how to play. They're gonna learn from each other, and then So, but it does take time. It does take time, and this game, a lot of people think is easy, and it's not an easy game. This is one of the most complicated games you could get into. And I said this 1,000 times. Rainbow Six Siege is like a game of chess.
Yeah, it is 100%.
You know, it's such like a game of chess. You got to know how to move. You got to know what to do.
Yeah, there's so many moving pieces and moving parts.
Yeah,
But
there was.
you push and pull everywhere around the map, and it's really cool.
You gotta multitask so much. You got to think about the cams. You got to think about the bob wires. You got to think about if this is a soft breach I could break through, or what to do here, what to do there. If the enemy has me in a corner, what should I do? I got to play against time. Do I have the detonator? You know, all this stuff. Your mind is just like going crazy.
That's before thinking about that there's 5 enemies trying to kill you as well.
Exactly.
That's before thinking about that. So there's so much to think about.
I tell a lot of people, this is not freaking Halo. This is not.
No.
This is not Call of Duty.
No.
They're not just running and just spraying bullets all over the place and just one lucky bullet kills somebody. No, this is not like that. You come over here, you're gonna get your butt handed to you.
Yeah.
This is tough.
I've played with COD players who have come over to Siege and they've tried to do that kind of run and gun kind of style. And I'm like, that's not gonna work because you run into a reinforced wall, and then what do you do? Or you run into a 180-degree crossfire. We got 2 people shooting at you at once. Then what do you do?
Yeah.
It's like it's almost a game where there's no transferable mini skills. You know, like the intricacies of the game. It's not transferable to any other game, and any other game is not transferable to Siege. Your aim and your mechanics can be, like how good you are at shooting a gun can sort of be transferable, but the way people think about the game is not transferable to any other game, in my opinion.
Wow, it's really I'd say, man, it's tough. I mean, I've been playing Siege since beta.
Yeah, wow.
And, since it came out.
Yeah.
I was a Battlefield guy, and playing. And once I hit it, it's like hitting a brick wall. I used to get so mad. I said, I just run over here and I'm already dead?
Yeah, you get wall banged through a wall.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck? How's he killed me? And I can I respawn? They're like, no, you got to wait till the end of the match, the end of the round.
Yeah.
Like, jeez, it's tough. You got to think about it twice because you only got one life. And it's crazy.
That's why pro players are pro players, because they don't think about it twice. They have the instincts to go and make the right play, and that's the difference between the casual playing community and then the pro players. Is your casual players might have the same thoughts as the pro player, but the pro players go and do it as quickly as possible, and the casual player sits there and thinks, "Oh, is this the right thing to do? Is this is there a better way?"
What was with me was that I was such a run and shoot guy because of Battlefield. And then when I started playing Rainbow, I started fearing. Having that fear. I started getting scared doing the run and shoot. I'm like, wait 1 second. Yeah. I'm not going to run inside that room.
Yeah.
I don't care. Now I'm thinking about it twice.
I've tried to play X Defiant when it just most recently come out.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's talking about it. I tried to play it and I can't play it because I'm trying to lean sometimes even. I'm pressing the buttons to lean and I'm like, I can't lean in the game. And I'm trying to hold an angle waiting for someone to come and I'm like, I don't have the time to do that in this game. In X Defiant. You have to be moving quick.
Yes. You know what happened to me? I went to play X Defiant. I played X Defiant. I played the finals.
Yeah.
And I'm catching myself walking slowly, peeking here, trying to see if I see an enemy will come through. Yeah. I'm like, what am I doing? Same thing happened with Halo. I've played Halo with a couple buddies of mine that are semi-pros I'm over here just taking it very slowly. Let me just go over here. Let me see if I could just walk over and not make a noise. And they're like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to catch up to that guy on the right. They're like, dude, you just run. I'm like, I know. I just keep on forgetting because Rainbow Six is so embedded in me. It's in my blood now.
Yeah.
So I'm playing all these run and shoot games like if it's Rainbow.
Yeah, I find myself doing the same all the time. Like you said, X to finals. I always get more annoyed when I die in a game like that. I'm like,
Yeah,
I die once, and I'm like, oh, that's awful. But then I realize people die like 20 times in a game,
correct. You come back and
20,
keep on
30
playing.
times. But we're in Siege. If you die like 6 or 7 times, your team, and they'll be like, what are
Oh
you doing?
gosh, yeah. What's going on? What are you doing? You're doing something wrong,
Yeah,
man. That's wild.
yeah, man.
So, are you after on this break? Are you planning to do anything? Are you working currently? Or you're in college or
Uh,
school?
so, I go on holiday on Thursday. I'm going to Turkey for for a week's break. So I'm going to go enjoy the sun there. As you know, it's not very sunny in the UK that often. So I go and enjoy my sun, and then I'll come back and I work. I'm a chef as well. So during the break, I'll probably do some work as a chef, and then go into stage 2 from there. Yeah,
Oh, nice.
yeah.
That's awesome. You're a chef. My best friend, he's a chef at Disney.
Wow, that's
At Disney in
that's pretty
Florida,
cool.
yeah. He's a
That's pretty
chef
cool.
there. Phenomenal
Yeah, it's
cook. I mean, he's a sous chef actually.
oh really? It must
So
be a lot of
yeah.
stress. A lot of stress
Oh
there.
man, you tell me all the stress that he goes through,
Yeah,
and so they're just like, because the thing is, it depends the restaurant you're in,
hmm,
but he's now working with a restaurant that just like, it's like a takeout, it's like a fast food.
yeah,
So he preps the food, get it all ready, and then the guests, customers, and they're just in line, and the line is like, how it is
yeah.
Disney
It's so
at
long.
last.
Yeah,
It's thousands of people
yeah,
just coming in and just order their foods, and then they take it to go.
yeah,
When he's on a fancy restaurant, obviously is a little bit more different. The
yeah,
customer comes in, sit down, and they eat, and then the food is very different. He has to make sure that tastes good and
yeah,
is up to like how the head chef wants it.
yeah.
So
Yeah, to make sure it looks good, smells good,
yeah,
tastes good. It
tastes
has to.
good.
All the senses have to be pleased in a fancy restaurant. You have to be able to see it and go, "That looks nice," as well.
Exactly. Now you studied to become a chef, or that was just like you just learned it by working at a restaurant?
Yeah, so I did 3 years at college learning how to cook, learning different techniques and stuff like that.
Okay.
So that was really fun actually. I met some of my best mates there in college, and it was really fun just to learn how to cook because it's a skill, right? You learn a skill, and
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yeah.
that's a skill that you will have forever. Then,
Yeah. Imagine you cooking and they say, hey, yeah, this plate is for Gordon Ramsay.
oh my god, I would be so stressed if someone told me. I'd be waiting for him to walk in the kitchen and start screaming at me.
What the bloody hell is this?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'd be waiting for.
But
I'd go
he's the
home. I'd go home
yeah,
at night and think he's still coming after me. He's still chasing
I
me.
know. I know. It's like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
My wife learned how to make a shepherd's pie. I mean, I'm from the island. Shepherd's pie is not popular in Puerto Rico, and
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
she saw Gordon Ramsay's video, and she's like, I want to make that. That looks really good. And
Yeah.
it says shepherd's pie, and now we're hooked on shepherd's pie.
Shepherd's
I
pie.
mean, it's like
It's so good. It really
it's
is.
very delicious. But I notice a lot of different chefs have their own technique and their own style,
Yeah.
how they make it. He mixes his with lamb and beef.
Yeah.
It's like really delicious. I'm like, oh gosh, it's freaking delicious.
Yeah, shepherd's pie is like a UK staple. You know, when it gets to the winter and it's cold and
Yeah.
you just want to eat something really hearty and warm, is shepherd's pie normally.
Wow.
Yeah.
Trust me, I'm hooked on it. See, in the island we have something it's not a shepherd's pie, but it's a potato. It formed like in a baseball. Inside there's meat.
Yeah.
So they call it carne rellena. So it's a little bit like a shepherd pie, but it's like a little ball.
Yeah,
But it's not
yeah,
the same. The seasoning is totally different. Everything is different. But yeah, when I tried shepherd's pie, I mean, it's freaking phenomenal. I mean, it's really, really good as dishes. Now, do you have a favorite dish that you like to make when you're cooking?
Ooh. I can't go wrong with like cooking a steak or something like that. Cooking a steak and having it
Yeah.
like cooking a steak perfect with some like fries or something like that is there's nothing better for me. That's probably my
Yeah.
favorite thing to cook. I think it's the most rewarding as well. Like cooking a steak perfectly to temperature that it has to be is really nice, really fun to do.
Well, thank you for calling it fries because I know a lot of people in the UK in England call it chips.
Yeah, well, I would I call it chips, but I actually prefer the skinny fries that we get. Yeah, like I would
Okay.
if I was talking about the thick ones, I'd probably call them chips, but I prefer the skinny fries anyway. So
Okay. Man, food is good, man. I love eating.
I could talk about food all day. I could eat food all day as well.
Really? Now, yeah. Now, so what type of steak you like? What's your favorite steak? What's your favorite cut, basically?
I mean, I think we have different names for it, but I have ribeye. Yeah,
Oh
like
yes, ribeye.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I know
yeah.
ribeye. That's my
Ribeye,
favorite.
ribeye steak, and it has to be cooked medium rare. Anything else is just
Yeah,
a crime.
I like. I don't. I used to like my steak medium rare, but then
Yeah.
now I like it medium.
It's not. Yeah, it's alright. It's
Yeah,
pretty near enough the same thing. A little bit more
yeah,
cooked. Yeah,
a little bit more cooked than medium rare, but just a tab, not that
yeah,
much.
yeah.
I
It's
don't
not.
like medium well. Don't like medium well. Don't like
Yeah, at least it's
none
not
of
well
that
done.
or well done. I
At
like
least it's
mine's
not well done.
medium.
Yeah, at least it's not well done because
Yes, no, well done.
yeah,
For me, it's just like it ruins the steak.
yeah. You're meant to have that nice pink or like pinkish grayish middle where you're meant
Yeah.
to be able to. Yeah, I think I really like medium rare is probably my favorite, but I wouldn't mind a medium if I gotta say.
Yeah, there's mediums that is good to still have blood in it. I mean, it's still like the net
Yeah,
center still rare,
yeah,
and it's just like perfect.
yeah,
It's just like good, and I could just take that with sautéed onions and mushrooms.
yeah.
Oh gosh, I could just eat all day
I might have to
steak.
go and find a steak now. I'm hungry now.
One of the tips that my friend told me, he said when you get steak, rub it in olive oil
Oh,
and salt and pepper.
yeah,
Really rub it in olive oil and salt and pepper.
yeah.
Then cook it.
I should say, always season your steak before you put it in the pan. Is always the best way
Yes,
to do it because it gives it time to go into the meat then, rather than just
correct. It
going
soaks it
outside.
up.
Yeah,
So that's what I did. Yes,
yeah,
I rubbed it with olive oil, salt and pepper, and shh.
yeah,
Like Gordon Ramsay say, but make sure that pan is hot.
yeah. There's nothing better than the sound of like a steak or a burger hitting a pan or a
Oh
grill. There's nothing
gosh.
better.
It's phenomenal, man. So that's pretty neat, man, that you know how to cook. You're
Yeah,
gonna be doing, some you got a job on the side as a chef.
yeah, yeah.
You got your backup. And then when season starts again for you, when does season start for you guys again?
We don't have an exact date yet, but it'll be around September. But there's the World Cup qualifiers in a couple of weeks. So that one will be fun. Trying to make it. It's essentially what the Gamers 8 tournament was, but it's now called the World Cup. So that's in 2 weeks, the qualifiers, and then the actual event's in July. But if we're talking about like the European League, it's September-ish, around there.
Okay. Okay. So my thing is a little bit in depth about the World Cup because a lot of people don't know about this World Cup. What's the World Cup?
Yeah, so people, when you hear World Cup, you assume it's like countries versus countries. It's not really that. It's more regions. So it's essentially another major, but it's not run by Blast. It's how best way to explain it. So teams from all around the world, they have their own qualifiers. They come and they meet in Riyadh, I think it is, in Saudi Arabia, and you play like a 16 team tournament, and the winner, I think it's like a million $1 million
Oh
or
my
something like that. Is the winner's prize pool, not even just the the prize pool altogether. I think the winner gets $1 million, or it's like $750,000 or something like that. So it's a lot of money.
Wow, that's a
And
lot of money.
but they've worked it this year where if you have a Halo team or if you have a CS:GO team or a Rocket League team, if all your teams do well, you earn points, and then the organization with the most amount of points wins $7 million.
What?
Yeah, so if all your teams in all your different games
Correct.
go to this Esports World Cup tournament and do well, and you're the best performing organization, then you get $7 million. So it's really a big one to try and win.
So this is basically like the FIFA or soccer. Well, I mean, football, as you call it, World Cup.
Yeah, that's kind of what they're going for. It's not country versus country, so there won't be like a full UK team versus a full French team.
Correct.
But that they're kind of going for regions more, so it'll be like Europe versus America, or that Asia versus Latam or somewhere like that. That's kind of what they're going for.
That's wild.
Yeah, $7 million is a lot of money. So there's a lot of pressure to do
that's
well.
that's a lot of pressure. I think every owner's like, okay, that's what I want.
Yeah. So everyone,
That's what I want.
all the orgs now are trying to pick up new teams and stuff, especially if they don't have, it's like ITB Into the Breach have just picked up a new Halo team. Not specifically for this event, but obviously it helps that they can play in this event. Because the more teams you have across different games, the more chance you have of winning $7 million, which is a lot of money.
A new Halo team.
Yeah, so these guys have just been to like every major for the last like 3 years or something like that, and our orgs just picked them up. So hopefully we can do well.
Now, if you don't mind me asking, do they're already out there? Are their names are out?
Yeah, I'll try and find it. And so I think it's like
for Halo.
Yeah, I'll find it for you now. So they've just announced it like in the last week or so, and it's already got like a really big following and stuff. And I think we're looking at CS:GO as well. But that's all I can say about that.
Now, if you're gonna do, then I'm gonna talk to you in private about something. I'll tell you after the show.
Yeah.
I know. Let's put it this way. I know a Shaiko of Halo.
Yeah.
And I know a group of people that are really, really, really good on CS:GO.
Yeah.
So I'll talk to you after this, and I'll give you their names and because I mean, this is I was trying to get myself a position as a recruiter, but a lot of these organizations don't have recruiters.
Yeah.
A scout, somebody that goes out and search out and pick out some really good players and for an organization, for a team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I know so many people, like my freaking goodness.
Yeah.
And I know who's good. I know who needs help and who's struggling and etc. But in Halo, I know there's one person that he's like the freaking hidden gem.
Yeah.
Hidden gem, so he's like a lot of these pros, they see him, they're like, oh crap.
Yeah. We got to play against this guy.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that he's not a pro yet. He doesn't get picked up because and I had this talk with Rexon from Sonics because he was on my show not long ago on the podcast. And with Halo, it's unfortunate. It's like, let me know who are your friends and I'll let you know if you're going to hang out with us.
Okay. That's kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, this is unfortunate. I don't care how good you are.
Mm-hmm.
You could be a Fabian. You could be a Pengu, a Shaiko.
Yeah.
Like a fact, you could be a gunner. You could be all these, Rex, and you could be that type of elite player, a Bolo. They don't care. If you're not part of my friend group, you're not gonna get picked up.
Yeah, that's really rough. I think
That is very, very rough. That's what I don't like. I kind of honestly, I stepped away from the Halo scene a lot because of that. I saw that and it was the most dirtiest thing, and they didn't pick up this guy. No team gave him a chance, and I'm like, well, he's better than all of you guys. And they're like, oh, but he just plays on rank and all this and that, and he has done tournament. I said, yes, but you guys judge one person if he lost in a tournament because Halo. The problem is with Halo is that they judge you for your team. They don't judge you individually.
Yeah.
Okay. So if your team loses, they will say that you suck.
Yeah.
Even though you could be the person that's carrying, you could have done everything. You could have, as a matter of fact, you could have done the performance what Gunner did.
Yeah.
Okay. On the major, on Manchester Major.
Yeah.
But if he would have lost, oh no, he sucked. He's horrible. You're no good, man.
It's
so
crazy
that's how they judge it.
Yeah, it's pretty mental how that works. And I think that's kind of an issue with not on all esports, but I would probably say esports in general, is that we have a lot of people who are very friendship heavily based. Obviously, I think organizations are becoming more wise now and taking the reins a little bit, saying this guy is crazy. Like, we got to pick this guy up.
Correct.
If you look at like, it's slightly different in the sort of case I'm going to give, but like Bolo and Spoit, right? They'd never really played at any competitive level. They just play ranked, and they were streaming it. Obviously, they had teams and stuff they'd been on, but
correct.
So it's slightly different. But they got their chances because they were so good at the game, and obviously it went well for both of them.
Of course, and they still do good. They're still top performing players. Yeah. It's like right now I got a friend of mine that I even posted it. I think he's the most underrated R6 player. He is, for me, right now, probably one of the best R6 players I've seen. If I had a team, and I'm gonna say this, and I don't care what backlash I get or people go, you're crazy. If they say, okay, would you want Bolo or would you want my friend Mario R6 that he goes by is Mario, I would choose Mario. Hands down.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
His style reminds me a lot of like Apollo style.
Oh, okay.
So his style is, he has a wicked way of seeing things. He's very patient, but he's very aggressive as well when he needs to be.
Yeah.
But he's freaking good. Now, he hits champ every season. He's also in a pro league scene for South Africa because there's a different division.
Yeah.
Now, when he's playing ranked and etc., we know that's kind of like not the same, but he's playing on 120 ping.
Yeah. Much of what he can do.
120 ping, and he's always performing phenomenal.
Yeah. That's pretty
Imagine him playing on a 30 ping.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy.
If you're doing good playing on 120 ping, you're gifted.
Yeah.
I seen people already checking him out from other orgs since I posted and I had them on the podcast, and they've been keeping their eye on it. Then I told them, hey guys, keep an eye on this guy.
Yeah. I think there was very similar things, right, with Ambi, who's now on Sonics. He played tier 2 and he played in the scene, but everyone was telling orgs, keep an eye on this guy. And this kid, as soon as he turns 18, he's going to get picked up. I know from my experience of working with orgs around the time is that around the time he got picked up, it was like a massive brawl to sign Ambi, and everyone wanted him because he was the next big thing, and because he'd been, the word had been spread about him, and everyone wanted him. So I think, people need to give people chances nowadays because it can go well.
Yeah, I always say that, give people chances. You never know
Yeah.
who you're passing by. Um, Sonic's released Gunner for Ambi.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
I mean, yeah.
Beast Coast picked it up, Gunner proudly, and guess what?
Yeah.
Numbers don't lie.
Yeah. Do you know, a hidden hero of that team is Fett. Like the amount of energy Fett has.
Yeah,
Is
Fett. Yeah,
really, really
the
good.
coach.
I was watching him when we were watching the final, and he is so animated and so passionate about his team, about the game. And every time they won a round, because it was so hot in the venue, they had fans like pointed behind the players, trying to keep them cool, because it was so hot in the venue. And every time they won a round, he'd have to like jump over these fans, like trying to fist bump all his players, but he was bouncing over these fans, and it was
He was,
so
yeah, he was
nice.
bouncing all over the place. Like
Yeah,
he
it's so
had.
nice to see the passion that someone has for the game and to win. It's amazing.
That is very important in the game when your team is either doing good or bad. That they feed off that energy.
Yeah.
And if they see that you're just pumped up, let's do it. Who cares? Let's just have fun,
Hmm.
and we'll get this. Win or lose, we're just gonna have fun.
Just have
And
fun.
I think,
Yeah.
I think that was the key.
Yeah, 100%.
That was the key. But yeah, man, there's some top players that I know. There's some hidden diamond, that I know out there,
Mhm.
especially in Halo and on Rainbow and on CS:GO, and I'll share it with you.
Yeah, 100%.
I know you're
definitely.
gonna be like kind of happy about it. As for Mario, that's already been posted out, and and I know some people have been looking at him,
Yeah, that's
and
good.
while he's streaming, they've been watching him. He is that good. I mean,
Yeah, that's good.
he is that freaking good. Like I said, if I had my own team, they say, hey, do you want to pick up Bolo or you want to pick up Mario? I'll say I'll pick up Mario. That's me. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I would choose, and I tell people it's an opinion. This is my player. I will choose. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put it this way: I wouldn't even pick up Ambi if it was versus Mario.
Yeah.
I'm going to be really sincere.
Well,
Now, if it was Mario and Gunner, then it's tough.
Yeah.
Then you made it tough for me.
Gunnar at
Then
the
you
moment,
made it tough for me.
one of the best players in the world, if not
Yeah.
probably.
Then you made it really tough for me.
Top two.
But if it was like they say, oh, we'll give you a ambiance, you can keep him. Bolo, you can keep him.
Yeah.
I will stick with Mario. But this is one of those guys that is one of the things that I like about him. Very humble guy, and you notice the way he is with his teammates, how he talks to them. Professionalism, having fun, really good with a chat. It shows no ego whatsoever. Really kind, friendly, but when he plays, he's deadly. He's really freaking good. And then you notice that he's playing on 120 ping, and he's doing that phenomenal.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know how he's gonna be when he plays on LAN.
Yeah.
But so this one of these guys that I just really admire. I look up to. But yeah, man, that's crazy. I didn't know that ITB now is going into the Halo scene.
Yeah.
Now it's going to CS:GO. Well, CS2 now, because that's what was playing Counter-Strike 2. So yeah, it's wild, man. Freaking crazy.
Yeah. So I sent you over on Twitter the Halo roster.
Oh, you did? Okay.
But it's pretty cool. I think I'm really like the org that I'm in right now. Are super good and super transparent with the players and the coach and the staff. Like I imagine any team, they're transparent, like really transparent. They tell you what's happening, what the org's doing, how that's sustainable, and they keep everyone well informed, which is really nice, especially in esports is in a bit of a tough period. it will climb out of it eventually. But it's nice to have an organization who are transparent about everything and let the keep the employees in the loop.
Now, question: do you only analyze for Rainbow, or do you also analyze for other games as well?
Just Rainbow, because
Just Rainbow.
I know nothing about CS2, and I know nothing about like Halo or any other game really. So just
Okay,
Rainbow. Yeah.
just Rainbow. Okay. Now, have you talked to the owner of ITB? You have a
I have,
relationship? You have?
yeah, I spoke to him. Yeah, he's a really cool guy. He always comes down to events. He's there at boot camps, and he just wants to be a part of everything.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, he's very personal, and he's empathetic and stuff like that. Like we got sent a message after we got knocked out, which said, we're so proud of you guys. Don't worry about it. Like we didn't have an amazing major, but to make the major is good enough for the where we are as a team in our
Correct.
development.
Just to qualify, just to
Yeah.
pass qualify, and then
Yeah.
to make it.
Yeah, the goal for the stage was to develop, and making the major was obviously a step above that. So the org
Correct.
sent a message as soon as we got knocked out, which said, you guys have made us proud. We're very happy with the way that the roster's going and stuff like that. So
Correct.
that transparency is really good, and it helps you secure, right? You can stay secure about your job and things like that.
That's good. That's good. Having faith, I'm sure that made you guys feel good.
Yeah.
And it makes you more like, okay, more energetic for the next round. You're
like, I wanna
pumped
go.
up.
You guys
Yeah,
are
you're
proud. I
pumped
wanna go
up.
and be better for the org, because
Exactly.
they're helping us out, and
It's a motivation.
yeah, exactly.
Motivated you. That's really nice. That's really nice. That's really cool. That's really nice, because not a lot of owners will get involved. They'll just sit back and just waiting for the paycheck.
Yeah.
And that's all they do, sponsors and all this and stuff like that. That's all they
Yeah.
care about. But if the owner is going out there to the events and being out there with you guys and supporting you guys through thick and thin, that is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I tip my hat off to CEOs they're that way,
Yeah.
because you don't see that too much. You don't see that too much. Wow, man. Crazy. That's crazy. Now, were you able to meet Ben from Wildcard?
I didn't get to meet him, but I have spoke with him before in the past, and yeah.
Yeah. I talked to him quite some time. Yeah, he's a really cool cat.
Yeah.
He's a really cool guy.
Yeah,
There's two of them. Yeah.
Wildcard are the same in terms of like the transparency. Their transparency was really, really
Yeah.
good. You can ask them anything, and they'll tell you what the plan is. So at least that's what I found when I was there, was the way the orgs run is a really good way. I mean, it wouldn't be in the scene for so long if it wasn't run well.
Yeah, they're a really, really good organization. They really, really nice people. I thank them so much for even picking me up.
Yeah.
To become part of the communications and twist specialist and helping them out. But they were really nice. Dispa is phenomenal.
Yeah.
He's very humble, really nice guy. He will listen to me. I'll give him my input. Yeah. He was always there listening, and really, really, really good organization.
Yeah.
But now on the podcast, I kind of like left on my own, and it wasn't nothing towards the team or the organization or anything like that. It's because I want to branch out and do some other things.
Yeah.
And then being tied up with a org kind of like holds you down a little bit. So
yeah, you got to do what's best for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely always got to do what's best for you.
Yeah. Yeah, you always gotta think about yourself, not to be, bragging, oh, I'm with this organization and I'm with them and I'm with this team and I'm with that, it does, just do what's good for you. Yeah. And I did want to go with another organization that has more multiple games and stuff like that will help me out with my podcast. But then I started growing due to word of mouth and growing that I see that I'm hitting other countries. I'm like, wait, now I see that I don't need to be part of a team.
Yeah, no, you can 100% make it
I
on
could
your
just
own, you know. You just keep
on my
working.
own, you know. So now I send out requests and people, yeah, sure, man. Yeah, I would love to come in. I would love to
Yeah,
be on your podcast. Sure.
yeah.
You know, so
I think we
I'm
don't get
not,
enough of that in Rainbow Six, at least. Is people trying to make a brand for themselves and people trying to, get their name known outside of the pro community. So, if you go and ask a casual player who Spoit is or who Bolo is, they know who they are. But you couldn't
yeah,
say that about a lot of the other players. You couldn't say that about them because we're not in R6, at least. There's not a lot of people trying to build a brand for themselves. And I
yeah.
think definitely, having that for yourself, like a podcast, is a really good way of, helping to start build that brand. Is you have to do
It's, it's true. And let me tell you now, you just said something that's really interesting. You tell a lot of these casual players, who Bolo is and who is Spoit, some, let me tell you right now, some will say yes, but a big majority nowadays, I asked around, they're like, no, I don't follow Pro League, but I follow Jinxie.
that. Yeah, Jinxie's probably the one that.
I'm
Yeah,
like, wait
yeah,
one
Jinxie
second.
100%.
I'm like, oh
Yeah.
man, he's the GOAT. He's the best player in the world. I said, do you know who Paulo is?
Yeah.
No. Do you know who Merc is? No. Do you know even remotely know who Chico is? No. But I bet they all suck and Jinxie is better than them. And I was like, what the heck are you talking about?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh gosh.
Yeah, Jinxie, to be fair to him, he joined the game, or he really exploded when the game was in a rough state. And I'm not a huge fan of his content, but I can appreciate what he's done for the game, and what he
Yeah,
does do for the
likewise.
game.
He's too wild for me, man. This is
Yeah.
like too crazy. I don't have anything against the guy. I think he's probably a phenomenal person.
Yeah.
But his content, his show, the way he puts it out, is too crazy for me. I have to let me sit back and just watch somebody that doesn't talk as much and scream, yell, kicks the
100%.
camera.
I like
You know,
watching something that chilled out and that you can. I
Yeah.
always prefer like smaller streamers anyway, who you can have more of a personal chat
exactly.
with. I like that kind of. You can have a chat with someone and really understand more about them as a person, and that's what I prefer about from when I'm watching a streamer anyway. So you wouldn't get that from Jinxie.
Do you stream?
Not that often, no, because I work obviously as well. It's very hard for me to find time. But when I do stream, I'm normally just streaming for like 2 hours, and
That's basically it.
yeah, I don't really have the time to do it. Not at the moment anyway. I'm hoping to find time. Obviously, I want to try and build my brand out. So I'm trying to find time to stream and, just become more known, which is kind of the goal.
Yeah. I mean, that happens. I mean, because I try streaming and I just noticed it's not for me.
Yeah. So,
And I did my best. I had to portray a character. I had to do something to draw attention. A lot of people want to see something different.
yeah.
And I played, and people were like, "Dude, you're phenomenal on freaking controller on PC playing Rainbow. How the heck you do it?" So they watched me because of that.
Yeah.
Nothing else. But then, in order to grow, it was really hard. It was like, okay, this is not for me.
Yeah, I think
I was
to
like, this is
grow,
not for me.
you have to do something that is different to everyone else. You have to do something that is totally. You have to have a niche, I think, to begin to grow, and then hope that niche kicks off. And then.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta. I mean, Jinxie did it.
Yeah.
Dr. Disrespect did it.
Yeah.
Doctor's like, okay, I'm gonna put a wig on, put glasses on, I'm gonna do this, and boom, hit it big. To the Tap Man, you got some big major players. Summit 1G.
Yeah.
So it's like all these people, they started off somehow on the low, and then they just became really big.
Yeah.
And you're known to be good at something. You got to be good at one game for them to start following you.
Yeah, I think nowadays you have to have content that can be clipped up and shared on TikTok and stuff. You have to almost be like clip hunting, like Jinxie's whole thing is he clip farms, like he does things that people can clip up and post on TikTok and say,
Yeah,
look at this funny thing that Jinxie did, and then people go, oh, who's this guy, and they check him out. And so you have to do that now, I think, almost as a streamer, is have that kind of clip. If you want to go like super big, like Jinxie big, then you have to have that level of clip farming about you. Be hunting those clips.
yeah, kind of crazy, man.
Yeah.
Now I'm a millionaire.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I think to myself, if I have 1 million, will I still be motivated to be streaming again?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Is you get there and you're like, I've got all the money that I need for now. Do I want to stream every single day for 12 hours a day? Do I?
Yeah.
I don't need to, So it is finding that motivation. I think that's
Exactly.
that kind of level.
Yeah, because if you come to think about it, it's like you struggle so long to make it big, and you finally made it big, and then you got your first paycheck. But money follows money, and then people are gonna be like, okay, wait, if I just made 1 million this year, but if I could make another 1 million next year,
Yeah.
and I make another 1 million next year, and the year after that, and the year after that, then you start thinking differently.
Yeah.
Then, well, let me keep on streaming. It's like I saw a post about Ninja. Somebody like Ninja here complaining about a car in Fortnite. Yeah. I mean, I'm like, Ninja, come on, man. You got the millions. Stop it. Just stop complaining about the game. Who cares? You got millions in your bank account and you're complaining about something about a vehicle. And in Fortnite, I mean, seriously?
Yeah.
I mean, the game now is not as big as it was before, like a couple of years ago. It was like a few years ago that was the only thing a lot of people were talking about. Now you hardly, hear that much about it. A lot of the top players, you hardly see them play.
Yeah.
A lot of people are switching from Twitch to Kick, and their viewership is not the same. So it's just crazy. I mean, but
I'm not too sure who that one streamer was, but there was that one streamer who got the deal. It was a pretty big streamer, got the deal with Kick, and then like went over and started streaming on Kick and realized that it just wasn't as good as Twitch, and then came back to Twitch. I can't remember who it was, but it was a pretty big streamer. Like Kick paid him a load of money to go and stream over there. And then
was it Tfue? No, I don't know if it was Tfue.
I'm not too sure, but it's one of those things of Kick.
Yeah.
I think Kick offers this big like 95 to 5% share of the revenue.
Correct. Yeah, you make a lot of money.
Yeah.
When people start subbing to your channel, you get a big chunk.
Yeah.
The problem was, I find with Kick is their apps. Their app is not as user friendly, is not as smooth. I could on Twitch, I could just click on somebody's name and gift that person specifically their a sub.
Yeah.
I could just block someone if I don't like them. There's so much things you could do, so user friendly and very clean.
Also, it's very, very well regulated and modded and stuff like that. With the streams that you can do. Whereas on Kick, it's not as regulated, and people get away with a lot. And so I don't think a lot of people use it because they're like, I don't know what I'm gonna see on here.
Oh yeah. Kick, you got to be very careful. You got to be very careful. And then it's like, I went to some streamers, and started checking them out, and they're just doing some really weird stuff. I'm like, God, this is not for me.
Yeah.
This is not for me. I gotta get, and I mainly just watch these streamers, the pros and people that I know, and just check them out, hang out, and mod for them.
Yeah.
Make sure they're doing everything by the book and everything's going good, and it's pretty fun, So basically, I'm doing, background work for them.
Yeah.
I'll DM and say, hey, watch out, don't say this, be careful.
Yeah.
Be careful you put the music in the background. Make sure you switch it up because you're gonna get hit with a copyright and all this stuff. So it's a lot of things.
Yeah, I guess that's it. It's almost knowing, right? Of some people just don't know that they're gonna get hit with a copyright strike, or that something that they're saying is over the line.
Yeah,
some people just aren't aware, and having someone like yourself to help them do that is a really, really good thing, I think, for a lot of people, especially when you're at the top of your game, and if you're a pro player and you don't want to lose your job as a pro player because you said something on a stream that you shouldn't.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Like I told these guys, listen, if you need anything, let me know, but just be very careful. Look what happened to somebody that I know that's a streamer. He said a dumb joke, but since he involved a race, colored and white and color, whatever, and he got his charm removed.
Yeah.
And that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
And I know he said it's just a dumb joke. It was a joke.
Yeah,
but dude, your mods should have gave you the heads up. Hey, don't say this joke.
Yeah.
Refer to an animal, a lion and a tiger together.
Yeah.
And they were drinking coffee, whatever. And then whatever the joke is, but just use animals because if you're gonna be using, race and whatever from different countries, or
it's not good.
It's not good.
Yeah.
And I remember Twitch was doing something, and I don't know what they did. I think they pulled it. They remember that time, I think a couple months ago or a few months ago, about the nudity.
Yeah.
I was like, what the heck? What are you doing, Twitch? What the heck, man?
Yeah.
Then you start seeing people getting naked, and it's they're just pushing the boundaries.
Yeah, I mean, they almost allowed it, right? And it was and then you saw all the hot tub streams and stuff like that. It was crazy. But
yeah, it was wild.
They got a little bit harsher on it recently, which is a good thing, and
yeah, it's kind of wild, man. Kind of wild. Yeah. Well, brother, see, man, it was nice talking to you, man. Finally, we got a chance to talk.
We've been waiting for 3 months, man, and we finally got time.
I know.
Ready, and it's just been different things in the way, but I'm glad I got to come on and just have a chat.
Yeah, I want the world to know who you are, man. That's my main thing. I want them to know who you are. I tell a lot of people, man, you come to the podcast, we'll talk about games, we'll talk about this, but it's not mainly all gaming related. Yeah, this is why we talk about a little bit of everything. I always emphasize, my podcast is a little bit more like a Joe Rogan style.
Yeah.
As Joe will bring some, he's the number one podcaster in the world right now. There's nobody going to take his spot.
Yeah.
And he'll bring somebody very famous, and they end up talking about dogs and cats and, breeds. And it's like, what the heck? You got a scientist with you, and you just start talking about dogs. And guy, what was your favorite time in high school? And, all this type of stuff. It just makes it more interesting.
Makes for more entertaining moments, right? Some of the best moments on a Joe Rogan podcast are when they're talking about something completely random.
Yeah, something completely random. It's like I'm talking with you. I'm listening to DrVtach and C, and they're talking about food. Like, what the heck? They're talking about steak all of a sudden.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, we switch it up. Have some fun, It's like,
100%.
My goodness. Yeah, we're sometimes we need a break from from the
Yeah,
esports, the games and stuff.
I
But
mean, yeah, 100%.
yeah, man. But it was fun having you on, man. Trust me, I'm gonna bring you back later on, man, in the future, man. This won't
Yeah,
be the first or the last time.
hopefully.
So, oh yeah, man, not a problem. Okay, well, we're gonna wrap this up. So, see, I give everybody a minute on the stage to tell the folks where they could find you, where to follow you, where all your socials. Go ahead, man. Stage is yours.
Yeah, so I only really use Twitter as my main social media, so you can find me on there. That's at CDR6. That's SEADEAR6. I'm hoping that with my time off now, between the stage, I'm going to make some more YouTube content. So that's just CD, so that's SEADEA. And that's kind of the two places where you'll find me most. And I always encourage people to, if you have any questions, feel free to message me if there's any questions about esports or your life. That's always the one thing I like to say.
Okay, folks, there you heard it from the man himself, the analyst, the one and only CD. So, CD, yeah, man. Well, thank you so much for coming in, man. It's a true honor, it's a pleasure, and just chatting with you, man. It was fun, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, brother. Well, take care, and until next time. Okay, folks, you know what time it is. Till next time, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for following the podcast on Apple and on Spotify. Thank you so much. Keeping this alive. Thank you. Okay, till next time. God bless you guys. Peace.
Thank you for listening to the Dr. VTach Show, and don't forget to click follow.